Hey everybody, welcome to another week of the Murder Bridge. I'm Soup along with Doobie and Claude, and we are here with yet more of this kind of content. Last week was kind of wild. We ended with some really interesting things we wanted to try out in Aram
Man,
after
not
having
not
some
too interesting.
well, we were cooking, right? We were cooking in the
Fair.
soup kitchen, especially myself. I said I wanted to try that Hue support, and I'll be honest, I never got to try it out.
We
I
managed to
have
talk you out of it.
no, I wanted to try it, Claude. I just couldn't because I never rolled into it. Then it was disabled for a while. And then the one time I rolled
True.
into it was yesterday or like 2 days ago. And Shasta wanted to style on some kids, so I couldn't do it. And I'm not convinced it's garbage because I was thinking about it just a minute ago. I was like, man, if we build heal shield items, what if we get Dawn Core? And then I still have AP, so I'm not like completely useless. Thoughts?
Well, no, it's trash. I'm glad you never got the opportunity to troll again with that.
So what? It's scratched off my list
Yeah,
indefinitely. I don't
100%.
ever get a try.
100%.
Man,
Yeah, pretty bad.
pre
Absolutely bad.
unbind.
You get it. You'll pick. You can pick a new thing at the end of this episode, and
Fine. All right, I'll pick something at the
we'll
end.
let that one roll into the
What
past.
did you guys want to try? Doobie, what were you cooking up?
Ooh, I wanted to try Briar on her new builds, and she felt very squishy without gore, but she was able to one-shot people pretty well with Sundered Sky and Black Cleaver. Felt good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the Briar that was in our game like 20 minutes ago was one-shotting me. I was
Yeah, with
Janna.
Hubris.
Yeah, that was nasty. I would die in like a quarter second, and that was she somehow was so sticky too. Is there like high CDR or something?
I think majority of the good items on her at least do give her a reasonable amount of CDR. 100%.
Mm,
Yeah. I mean,
brutal.
I played a shit ton of Briar too, and she actually feels amazing right now with Sundered Sky, in my opinion. It's kind
What
of,
other bruiser? You said you wanted to try a bunch of people out with Sundered Sky last week, Claude. So
I
what have
play
you been trying?
any champion that could build it. I played it, and it was OP. I think that item is one of the best items.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy. Any champions in particular that stand out
Mm,
in ARAM, obviously.
Wukong feels actually amazing with that item.
Really,
I like.
really.
I usually avoid that champion, but the 2 or 3 times I've played Thunder Sky Wukong on this patch, it felt really, really fucking good.
Hmm.
What was the
Well,
other
I
one?
haven't.
I also played a Thunder Sky Scion game, and that was Pog actually.
Yeah,
Given the
I
curb
don't.
stomps.
I haven't seen that many Wukongs in forever, so I don't know. I don't know where he'd slot in with a team comp.
Yeah, I mean, it just works. It's a good engage bruiser for comp sometimes.
High burst damage means he's just gonna get blown up, though, right?
It's not high burst. It's something that heals you and makes you
No,
a
I
lot
mean
tankier.
everyone has high burst, so you're just dead the moment you go in, right?
Maybe, but if you have follow up, it should be fine. I mean, most bruisers, it's kind of what you're banking on is some form of follow up to your initial CC.
Yeah, follow up super important. All right, so let's dive into our first topic tonight. We wanted to do a little exercise here of each of us in turn is going to create in our minds the perfect ARAM composition. Now, keep in mind this is for ARAM. This is not necessarily for Summoner's Rift. It's very ARAM specific. There should be nerfs, buffs to your champions. How do they measure up? Let's start with Claude. What would be the perfect ARAM composition in your mind?
Okay, a good ARAM composition is almost always one or two forms of engage. A DPS character, usually an ADC, and a support and a mage. So I picked Caitlyn as my AD carry.
Mm.
I think Caitlyn has a lot of avenues for builds right now. So she's just really versatile and always does that reliable damage. So, of course, to make Caitlyn a lot stronger and to provide support for the whole team, I'm going to pick Yumi. It's going to provide healing, CC. Her Q is a great way to get picks. And then for my engage, I have Kench. with his W, just the hard force fights. And I have Kled. So when you really need to run him down, you absolutely can. And then on top of all that, I have Brand as my mage to just dish out the massive AoE damage. There we go. That's my pick.
What's the
Kench,
Caitlyn
Kled,
build though?
Brand.
Because I feel like the DPS is pretty low.
You know how much I love Hubris Caitlyn right now. But I think it's probably just normal AD carry Caitlyn with the Kraken Rush into normal AD carry items. I think that is optimal for this comp.
You have thoughts about that, Doobie?
Seems alright. The only non-single target damage that was Brand, so might have problems cutting down tanks.
That's a Caitlyn's job.
Caitlyn versus tanks. I guess the
Yeah,
items
just put
aren't
30 autos in.
there.
Hey, with the items
Yeah.
right now, she can do it.
Yep. I think it's okay. I think you might struggle though with like such low healing. Like Yumi's there to help with shields, but in terms of healing, everybody's kind of gonna struggle if you're against high like poke, right? Like an Ezreal
That's
and
why I
a
have the.
Vel'Koz.
That's why I have the crazy engage.
Yeah, but what about until you have all of that ready? And do you wait for everybody to have everything? It's really just like Kled level 6, right?
That engage is always there, just because Kench.
Mm.
Kench W is always
alright.
engage.
I guess it's got to be Shasta though, because he'll hit those.
Nah, that-
Kench that misses kind of throws
What?
himself into the bus, right?
Kench W is one of like the easiest things to land in Aram. That shit's a joke.
Disagree, but okay.
Yeah, you out here struggling on Kench apparently.
I'm out here struggling on any engages, bro.
Just go underneath the carry.
Yeah, which is why my comp has like a bunch of like quasi engage, not like some go button like Kench or Kled, right? So mine is Lulu Jinx. I really think having the resets and a dedicated enchanter who can also be like follow-up engage is really cool. Plus, then Lulu just in general, she's got that W, the whimsy for speed up on Jinx, but also doubles as polymorph against idiots that are trying to dive the backline. So the Jinx is just super safe, right? So to engage, I do have Scion. Now he's probably the biggest go button, but I also have Nico and Swain for just the big circles, right? Circles in Aram, I think they're great. Nico can sneak in, or Swain can just tug somebody, walk it forward. I think my comp is really tanky too, front to back, really hard to dive through us, and we do still have those go buttons and really great split damage.
Fair. I don't know. I think my comp kicks your comp's ass.
Nah, your Kate's freaking dead, bro. Like, what did she do? She's never gonna live through Nico.
Nah, I actually just shred your team to bits. Brand will eat your front line.
Now I want to play it out because we also have 10 unique champions between the two of us, Claude. Well, I really think we should play it out. That would be pretty cool.
I
We
wish
should do
we
some
could.
customs right now. Maybe you can leave us a comment on whatever platform you're listening to us on, and if you think you would have fun doing some customs with us, let us know. Doobie, you're up next.
All right. For range poke, picked Jace. He just does so much damage since they buffed him like 3 patches in a row last year.
Hubris.
Plus all the lethality items give 15 plus lethality each, and they're full value armor pen now. It's just not balanced for sure. For my tank engage, I picked Rel. She's just insanely tanky, tons of CC.
Underrated.
Follow that up. Overrated.
I said underrated.
Oh, okay. And to follow Rel up, I picked Malphite. He just has so much burst if you build AP, or if they just have 580 champs, he can just go full tank and just be immortal.
Fair.
Then to round that up, I picked Twitch Lulu
Big
bot lane.
rat.
Yay, a Lulu enjoyer as well. Yeah, we call this one the Big Rat.
My God.
It's a pretty good combo. She just has so much peel for Twitch and just gives him so much DPS with her W.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about Twitch Lulu is you can tell the Twitch not to throw out his W, because normally a Twitch wants to get up there, get close, throw the W to slow people so he can keep autoing. But the cool thing about Lulu is when her shield is attached to Twitch, her glitter lance comes from where he is rather than where she is. And so you can slow people with glitter lance instead of his W, which gives him like an extra auto attack in his opener. I really like that.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
well,
it is a good combo. Not gonna lie.
Claude, you were pretty confident that your comp would beat my comp. Do you think your comp would beat Doobie's comp?
Yeah, I think Doobie's comp might struggle with the tanks, or with Kenshin Kled jumping in.
Maybe. I think he's got the range advantage, right? Like, Jace is just going to whittle you down. Twitch is going to rain hell whenever he wants.
Yeah, I feel like me and Doobie's comps would be actually a good matchup. That would be a skill match, very much so. I think Doobie's comp would shit on your comp big time.
Hey, ain't no way. The Twitch opens up. What is he gonna do? Nico, Swain, Sion are just gonna press R buttons at him.
Yeah, but you picked.
He's gonna build Bork.
You picked Jinx, Jake.
And we don't build resist.
Jake picked Jinx.
Shoot.
Lamau.
We might have a rock, paper, scissors situation on our hand. I think I beat Claude no problem. And then Doobie breaks me because Bork builds. And then Claude doesn't beat anybody. Let's move on. He's just bad.
My God. No, I'm a believer.
All right, and our next topic, we kind of dipped our toes into this last time we recorded a couple weeks ago, but our favorite Aram champions and why. You know, everybody should know by now I love enchanters myself, but sometimes you don't get the champions that you want or the roles that you want, so we're going to start with AD carries. If you're going to dish out the DPS, what's the one that you want to roll into? Doobie, we'll start with you. What's your favorite AD carry?
It's definitely Jhin. He does a lot of single target DPS. His ult hits hard now.
Shoot gun.
He gets to zoom around the map when he crits. He's just a fun champ all around.
Have you tried the Titanic really quick third, fourth shot?
Ah, yes, the bug abuse.
Yes.
I've seen it, but I haven't used it, no.
Yeah, it looks pretty silly. Vandal videos out there.
It's weird because I've been seeing so many people playing it in our ARAMs, and it's just, for some reason in my mind, I can't bring myself to do that kind of shit. Like, it sounds lame.
It's pretty silly. I think it's pretty fun to see those kind of interactions in the game. It's weird to see a Jhin auto-attacking so fast. But I actually haven't seen somebody do it in ARAM so far, at least in any of the lobbies I've been in this last week. Favorite AD carry? Claude, you're next.
Okay, well, I mean, last season, I would have definitely 100% said Jhin also. Just because Axiomark Jhin with Dustblade last season was so much fun to just shoot people twice with your ult and then miss the third and then deal how much damage with that fourth shot in that build. It would be like you could deal upwards of 1,800 damage with that last fourth shot and just 100 to 0 people sometimes. That was a hilarious build. But this season, there's a champion that does that way better, and that's Caitlyn. And Hubris Caitlyn is by far my favorite AD carry build right now. By a mile. What's
your keystone?
You can go Duskblade, you can go Tempo. It doesn't matter. Either works.
Duskblade is a keystone now?
Oh, not Duskblade. Sorry. You can go Dark Harvest. You can go Hail Blades. You could go Bullet Run. You could go all of those. It doesn't really matter. It's just the build is absurdly strong right now. Going Hubris into Axiomark. Then you get a Collector, BT, and then Lord Doms. And if you if you get enough money to get a 6th item, you sell your boots for Infinity Edge and then deal crits that deal 3,000 damage, apparently.
So you also don't bug abuse with the
no way
double headshot?
No, I mean, I think if you're building more so AD carry centric, not without if you're building her without the hubris start, then you could do it, but with the hubris start, you definitely don't.
Yeah. My favorite AD carry's got to be Lucian. I know he's a lot shorter range than Jhin and Kate, but I just feel like you dish out so much insane damage. And unlike the two of you guys, it's really easy to KS, right? Like you go collector first,
True.
and you're just going to get so much more money than is reasonable because dashing in, flashing in whenever you're ready to just get a quick kill, it's really easy to get those last couple autos in. And PTA, surprisingly great in Aram, and there's not a lot of champions I think that can go that.
Yeah.
I really like press the attack because generally there's like 1 to 2 champions that are diving in, and they're obviously going to get focused first for at least the brief moment. And if they get PTA'd, you got 5 champions hitting them down, you get a lot of value that's not really recognized.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like Lucian's definitely in a good spot right now. But ain't no way he's one of the best AD carries at KSing,
Yeah,
dude.
he is. He
No
is.
way. I feel like I have the easiest. Okay. When I'm playing Caitlyn, for example, you just load up the headshot and you wait till someone is low. Easiest KS of your life.
I mean, I guess.
Just deal double damage. Screw.
By that logic, though, then Jhin is even better, right?
Yeah,
because you're 4th shot.
Jhin is good at it too.
For sure.
I think both these champs are better at casting than Lucian. But yeah. Lucian, great caster. Yeah, 100%.
It's also he can just his long range ultimate is like really strong.
You know, I tried to build into Lucian yesterday, I think.
Did you go Hexplate or whatever it is?
No, I did I did Hubris Lucian with
it's probably pretty good.
And the ulti did really good damage, but then they had a Samira that would press W and hurt us. I don't know.
That's the worst. Wind wall champions, ban them all. I hate them.
There's no way you don't remember that game. Holy cow! Yeah, that game was
we played
sad.
so many games.
It was last
night.
It was past Jake's. It was past Superman's bedtime. Yeah.
It's almost my bedtime now, bro. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, supports. My favorite. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly throw Lulu out there because I already told you why. Right, the W is just crazy. Her ability to follow up initiations with her ultimate. Also awesome in Aram, but there's nothing more satisfying than just polymorphing a Katarina or something. It's just so funny to me. They get so frustrated and they keep doing the same thing over and over again and falling for it. So Lulu's mine.
I like playing Lulu for that reason too. I like playing her and just polymorphing the assassins every time. The sad Katarina, you just make her giga depressed.
Yeah. So Claude, then what's your favorite then if you can't pick Lulu?
Since I'm not picking Lulu, my favorite is Blitzcrank by a mile. I like being the Blitzcrank player in ARAM that actually lands hooks. And I hate it when there's Blitzcrank players that are a rando in your 4-man group, and they're just pretty much shooting their hooks backwards. That's pain. That's pain to watch. And it just makes me want to play Blitzcrank more the next time it pops up, because I'm like, I gotta not put him to shame like that poor man did.
Yeah, I mean, a blitz that lands hooks on the priority targets is like super broken, but then the Blitzcrank that hooks into Alistar, sus.
I mean, it matters. If you're in the first early game of fight, you hook whoever you hook. Your team will be able to burst them. That's the rule of Blitzcrank. You don't get greedy early. You get greedy later. But
sure.
I don't know. It's fun, and he does really well with the item CDR build. On top of that, it's a good champ.
Fair enough.
Always use flash. Always use flash whenever it's up. Just flash hook. True. Don't hesitate.
You still hex flash? Oh, wait, it's not in the game anymore.
No, I mean, even then I didn't use hex flash. I feel like that's not worth it in comparison with the runes, but it might have been. But just always using flash on cooldown. I do the same thing on Thresh. If I have flash up, I'm going for the pog hook.
Speaking of a quasi hook champion, Dewey, what is your favorite support?
I gotta go with Renata. She's got a lot of unique utility in her kit with the res on her W. She's got an AoE shield for the whole team if you're good at landing it. She's got a really fat ult that basically takes up the entire bridge. And
True.
it's just a huge nope button against their entire team.
Yeah, fair.
I really
She's
like
so annoying.
I
Yeah,
like
she's
Renata
annoying to play
for
against for sure.
I like the R flash. To reposition it.
Yeah.
Could be really fun to pull that off. You know, I struggle with her W though. Like as a Zillion player, I'm really good at finding the angle of right before people die. But the thing with Renata W is if you do it right before they die, but there's not a target to kill to res them, then it's useless. It doesn't really
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah.
So I try and use it early so that it has like attack speed and move speed value because
Yeah.
those are the buffs it gives. But then it's like it never gets value, and then it's on cooldown when they go back in, and I'm like, man, I feel like an idiot. So I don't know.
I do the same thing all the time on Renata. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna W them right as the fight's starting. They die, they die. If they don't, they get the buff at least. Like, but either way, yeah, Renata is cracked. I mean, we just right before we started recording, we played that game, and I was Fizz, and there was a Renata on the enemy team, and I was
super annoying.
I like have to fake that I'm going in on their carry to bait out her W, and then maybe swap to her, and it's just a gamble. It sucks. It's annoying.
For sure. Well, mages then. Doobie, what's your favorite?
I definitely have to go with Silas. He's just fun to play. He's got dashes. He's got healing. He's got stop hitting yourself.
True. Yeah, Silas.
Yeah. What's your favorite ult to steal then?
Oh, I mean, definitely Malphite. That's just the ult, right? He also got other utility ults like Alistar or Aatrox, Olaf even.
Yeah. I mean, Silas. I really enjoyed playing Silas a crap ton, but less so lately. But I'm sure he's still fun as hell to play. Just cross your fingers that there is a Swain on the enemy team, and you just gotta steal his ult. Be better, Swain.
Better Swain. Well, that's what's better than Swain and Silas then. Claude, what's your favorite mage to play?
Well, okay. Now I'm thinking about this, and I want to say Karthus, but I haven't gone to play Karthus on the new patch. So I have no idea how. Every time I've had Karthus in a lobby, the lobby gets dodged, and I'm kind of pissed.
Tragic.
I'm not kidding, it's been like 8 times at this point where the lobby's been dodged where I've had Karthus. No one wants to play with my Karthus. Smooch. But yeah, I love inting on Karthus and then dealing most damage because you just get a scale anyways. But I would say it's Fizz right now. Fizz feels really good.
Yeah.
For a mage. I mean, it counts as an assassin, but
you've been liking Fizz.
Fizz this patch is really strong, and I really like Fizz. So when Fizz is strong, I play Fizz. So, yeah, I think that's gotta be my pick. I think Jake, your pick is so sad.
Why?
Orianna.
It used to be Orianna, but now she's just like kind of bad. The thing is, there's nothing more satisfying for the same reason you guys are both like, yeah, Malphite, let's go steal the Malphite, Bamba, right? Like the reason you guys love that, everybody loves it. Orianna the same way, right? Like they're just stepping her into the fight, and then all of a sudden, you take them out. I love that.
Fair.
Yeah, I really like that. Plus, you can hide the ball in like. Not just brush or whatever.
Stick it in the tower.
Face checkers. Yeah, stick it in the rubble. Stick it in a tower. Stick it in a Shaco.
Calm down.
Yeah, you can stick your ball wherever you want, and it's great. But Orianna just feels kind of weak with the new items, so I don't really think I would like her as much right now. I haven't actually given her a try since the new items, but the build path just seems terrible. So now I would say my favorite champions are probably like Brand or Vigar, but the Vigar is kind of a cheating answer for me because the way I play Vigar is like full movement speed CDR, just to put down the cage, max it, and ghost at them just to start fights. Works out pretty well, but yeah. So probably Brand for damage. You just love seeing the burn being traded and shared, and it's hilarious.
I think Brand is amazing right now too.
Yeah, there's nothing better than having a big AoE boom on the enemy.
It's funny because last patch they buffed Brand's passive, kinda. Well, I think it was a huge buff, but they didn't realize it was because they didn't change numbers. They made it so brand passive ticks every like 0.25
Mm.
instead of every. Apparently, it used to be it would tick every 1.1 seconds.
That's so long.
Which is really long, right? That's what I was thinking. But
that's crazy.
So they changed it so it ticks way faster, and I think that's a huge deal, actually. And
yeah, I mean, for context, Morgana's W ticks every 0.1 seconds.
And because of that change, he must have gotten really strong because he is one of the things they immediately hot fixed on that day one of patch. They were like, "Oh, never mind. We need to
He's still dominating the jungle on Rift, so
yeah. So I think he's absurdly stronger. That was a weird change that actually made him really strong.
Yeah, he's almost like an assassin, which is the next category. Assassins. My favorite assassin. I don't play them. I think assassins have no place in Aram. I hate them. So my favorite assassin is Yumi. I'm gonna be untargetable like every other stupid assassin out there, and I'm going to burst you for a quarter of your HP by building full AP like every other assassin out there. So yeah, Yumi. It's my defiance choice.
That feels cheap.
Nah, the items are so expensive, bro.
Okay, well, to be fair, Release Yumi was an assassin.
True.
In Aram, that was toxic, dude. The Yumi Q's doing half your HP after she gets 2 items was terrible. Right when she was released.
I used to like playing Echo as an assassin in Aram, just because you can actually 100 to 0 someone pretty well. You're still a great team fighter with your W, AoE stun, and you have the free out, right? Snowball to get in, dash in, lots of damage, and you're not going to pay for it with your life. So you can go 1 for nothing, like an assassin should be able to do, like on Rift, but it's really hard for a lot of assassins to do that in Aram. So
yeah, I think Echo actually feels really good right now in Aram.
Does he?
Yeah.
Maybe don't give it a try.
With the new items, and you just get a cheap proto belt and cheap Lich Bane that gives you a butt ton of good stats. Yeah,
true.
It's super good, actually.
So is he your favorite assassin then, Claude?
No. My favorite assassin is Pyke by a mile. But it's hard to say because no more Duskblade passive kind of makes it ass.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be Fizz again, but I still enjoy Pyke to some extent. I know.
Fair enough.
I'm double dipping, but...
All right. Well, then we got to hear from our resident assassin player. Doobie, hit us with the true knowledge. Who are the best assassins?
I like Katarina. You said ooh. Yeah, she's just totally unbalanced. She does so much damage. If you pick up her daggers, like 800 damage a dagger. It's crazy. And then her ult, you just wait until they don't have interrupts, and then what do they do about it?
I need to play some Katarina on this patch. Apparently she's really good with Lich Bane Rush right now. Apparently it's bonkers.
Yeah,
I wish we could check how many pentakills you have on Katarina, Doobie, because it's got to be dozens. Yeah, it's got. You probably might even have 100 of them.
100?
100? Okay, that's a lot.
That's a lot, bro.
It's definitely dozens.
Yeah,
like
maybe
dozens for sure.
Maybe like
it would
30.
not surprise me if you had 50, right? And that sounds like a ton, but we play a ton. You play a ton of Katarina, and
Yeah.
I would bet money that 9 games out of 10 on Katarina, you get at least 1 pentakill.
My God.
When was the last time you played Katarina? Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was a few days ago. He was on last patch.
Oh, I remember.
Fair.
And Jake, well, yeah. I mean, Superman was like, I think you should go the tank build. No, that was a Kali game, right?
Yeah, it was at a Kali game.
Damn, I'm mixing it all up.
Another favorite of Doobie's.
Yeah, he's playing all
Yeah, I
the
like
assassins.
Akali too. She just has a lot of burst.
Mm.
You R1 E at the same time,
She's
and then W
cancer.
U.
Cancer champ right now.
Yeah,
Oh. Just take
Unlucky.
snowball, guys. Don't take the snowball. Just land it on her in her W.
Yeah.
yeah. If you don't take the snowball, the second
she's
part of
revealed.
snowball, she's revealed until it expires.
And just smash the Akali. Cross your fingers.
That's sometimes I take snowball and supports for that reason. Like having vision on your side is just so good. Even just like revealing people in brush is super nice. So if I don't feel
Mhm.
like if I feel like I have enough shields or something to deal with, like for like Lulu for example, it's a real toss up because like Whimsy is just so strong or Polymorph is so strong. But let's move on to the next category, tanks. Doobie, what's your favorite tank?
I have to go with Cassante. I think he's just fun to play. He's got so many dashes. He's got like a billion damage reduction on his W, which he can use twice for whatever reason.
Fair. How does he feel
Just
with the new
loses
items?
and deal damage. I mean, he definitely enjoys stuff like Jock Show and what is the Unyielding Despair? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That's the AP
The suck item.
Sunfire. Yeah.
I don't think it's MR Sunfire. It's an alternative armor Sunfire. Because there's 3 Sunfires in the game right now. 2
Really?
armors and 1 MR. And the MR one is weird.
I'm talking about the one that was the old Jock Show effect where it would steal health from
Oh yeah. And that's not
everyone
even,
in
it's
range.
not even a Sunfire really. That one's just weird.
Yeah, that just
Yeah, every 7 seconds
everyone
it
nearby. Yeah.
sucks.
And you can reduce it with the item CDR in Genius Hunter.
Shit, I never thought about that. That actually
Yeah.
sounds really good.
So it could be like something like 4.5 seconds.
That's kind of bonkers. Hold up.
Yeah, he gets to build a lot of cool items.
Okay, I need to try that now. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what tanks are good right now. Like, tank items
I mean,
feel
Ornn
good.
is always good just because he gets so
Yeah.
many free stats.
Yeah.
Tank items are good right now, but I'm just not sure. I feel like tanks aren't in a great place in ARM right now. But
So if you have to play a tank,
sometimes.
who would you play?
Well, as of lately, the only tank, I guess there's 2 tanks I've been playing. I've been playing Scion, which sometimes I troll on and go AD, but sometimes I go tank and it feels good too. And then the other tank, other than Scion, I've been playing is Cho'Gath, which is always a good champion in my opinion. Just easy knockups, and the silence is the most obnoxious thing on the planet. So yeah, Scion and Cho'Gath right now are the main tanks, and those are my 2 favorite tanks to play right now by a mile. Those are the only tanks you'll ever see me play, actually.
Yeah.
I will refuse to play tanks other than Cho'Gath and Scion.
Fair enough. I like Cho'Gath as well. Especially because from Champion Select you have that flexibility of you can build AP if it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Or you can end up going full tank and
Yeah.
obviously you're a monster. I like Shen the most. I would say Thresh, but he's more of like a support, and then we already.
I would pick Thresh too.
Yeah, Thresh is just really fun.
Oh,
but
Blitzcrank, yeah.
Shen isn't. Yeah, true. But Shen is just insane. I think he's really really tanky. Doesn't take damage from auto attacks, which most of the early game damage is going to be auto attack based.
Yeah.
And he's just great. He goes in, starts fights, doesn't take too much damage, can save someone else who dives with him. And you don't need to build mana items. You don't need to build damage. You can build a bunch of health, and it gives you damage. You do well against other tanks because you have % health damage, and you do well against squishies because your burst damage is stupid high.
Yeah.
So I think altogether, Shen, great champ, pretty fun to play because you can make some snowball attacks, and he's got like a 54% win rate in
Yeah,
ARAM.
I actually think he's really good right now. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody seems to want to play him though because he's just like
He
boring, I guess.
is
He's a
enjoyable.
bit boring.
I think he's fun. He has his
Played him the other
moments.
day. He felt really strong though.
Yeah.
Yeah, always has been. Sometimes I like to actually. I mean, I haven't played him forever, but I really liked going Halo Blades because like your Q is % max health, not % current health. And so against squishies or tanks, you dash in, You're basically immune to the incoming damage that you're going to take in return. And while you're doing it, you just go bop, bop, bop with Halo Blades and then walk out. And it's just like really good burst
Well,
damage.
that was the game the other day. Doobie played Shen, and like two and a half minutes into the game, he had his entire heart steal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
There
was
you
pretty
go.
good.
Yeah, that was a little. You were a little ahead of the curve there.
Yeah, try Heartsteel Hail of Blades.
Yeah.
Grasp is really good too, obviously. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of Grasp champions, Bruisers is the next category. Claude, what's your favorite Bruiser?
It's Briar by a mile right now.
Is she a Bruiser?
Briar is. You're saying Briar is not a bruiser? Yeah, she's bruiser,
tank.
assassin, 80 carry, tank, dude.
Didn't someone
They just put a bunch of HP scaling on her.
All right. She is pretty crazy.
She is. I mean, the way you
the
build
new
her
items.
is. I mean, there's a couple ways to build her, but the way you would build her in ARAM is 100% bruiser.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could sneak in a collector, but that's not often. Right now, it's just Sundered Sky into. It's like Death Dance, or what item am I forgetting? You can go Titanic Hydra on her, feels really good. You can go Iceborne Gauntlet, which actually feels amazing right now. Is it even called Iceborne Gauntlet? Frozen Fist, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Yeah.
That is a particularly good item on her, just for running people down. Gives you armor, and your Q is just constantly up, so you're always proccing your Sheen procs. You just get to run people down. Champ feels really good right now.
Fair enough.
And
Yeah.
she's fun. You just get a YOLO in. You ulti and it just launches you in. No one's stopping you.
So speaking of other champions that are apparently bruisers but also assassins in ARAM, Doobie, what do you like?
Yeah, he's our favorite assassin.
Rek'Sai's meant to be an or a bruiser, but I play her as assassin. I think just her burrow W alone, being able to reveal where enemies are, especially stealth units like Eve and Twitch and Shaco, stuff like that. I just think it makes her insanely strong. And then landing a snowball, because you're forced to auto when you take the snowball, you'll automatically unburrow. You just Halo Blades 3 auto them, and then do the empowered E, and they just die. Yep, big Monch, true damage Monch.
It's so good. Yeah, Rek'Sai is. I think she is turbo underrated in ARAM. I think she's one of the best ARAM champs for like the last 3 years, maybe. She's been one of the best. She gets the job done.
Yep.
Silly that years ago people were like, stupid champion, if I get forced to play it, I'm just gonna go AP and use the Prey Seeker thing.
We've all done it at least once.
But then
I definitely abused it.
Yeah, and then people finally realized, dude, just go full assassin and you at least get one person.
Well, it's hilarious because her ultimate, the way it scales with that much AD is kind of hilarious because it just becomes this massive execute. I think late game Rek'Sai probably does 50% missing health damage with her ultimate, and if not more, and it gets really gross.
She's also just so good at peeling. Like, if anyone on your team gets snowballed, you just sit under them, and then if they take it, they die.
Yeah,
like, pretty much guaranteed.
It's counter engage big time.
Smart, yeah. I can definitely see that. I like the Rek'Sai. Whenever one of you guys are piloting it, I always feel like you get crazy high kill numbers. It works out well.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it for ARAM champions. Yeah, I'm not going to give it Bruiser. I do not play Bruiser.
He doesn't. You don't want him to play a Bruiser.
Nobody wants me to play a Bruiser.
Yuumi the Bruiser?
Yuumi the Bruiser. Yuumi the Assassin Bruiser.
Wait, what support could he pick as his Bruiser? Maybe.
To stretch out.
No, I don't think so.
No. Yeah, sure. Thresh.
My Bard.
Awesome.
Bard.
Oh, his Bard.
I kind of build a little Bruiser, like a.
No, you don't. What the hell?
God.
Yeah. Okay, Bard is his tank pick. There we go.
Yeah,
okay.
true. Yeah.
But either way, let's move on. All right.
Let us move on. All right, and our next topic is the patch. Right, we had a patch this week, 14.2. And this one, unlike 14.1, actually had ARAM balance changes that are specific to ARAM, where they adjust kind of the debuffs or buffs that champions had. And I'm just going to run through them before we chat about them. So from the top, the following champions got nerfed, and most of them was about 5 to 10% to their damage dealt or damage taken. So Aphelios deals 5% less damage now. Gwen does 5% less damage now.
Fair.
Mordekaiser takes 5% more. Kale does take 10% more. And Teemo specifically
what I say
is nerfed to have less maximum charges on the shrooms.
I said they were gonna nerf Teemo, and lo and behold, there it is. But no, what am I saying? These changes actually feel terrible. I thought it wasn't going to be that big of a difference, but it actually does feel really bad. Because sometimes when you die late game, you're like, you just get all stocked up on your shrooms and you can just lay them all out. And now just having that one less, even mid game, you can't really shroom up the whole lane and it feels really bad. But, I mean, he still does great damage right now.
It does,
and
yeah.
He can stall, but not nearly as much as he used to.
Yeah, but I would say the one that sticks out to me from the nerfs or buffs is that, and there were no buffs, they were all nerfs. Mordekaiser, 5% extra damage taken. I don't think they needed to do that. Mordekaiser, it's really hard to find an angle already. You have to choose a target that you can actually 1v1. I don't think they should have nerfed him. That's a little.
I don't think it was called
rude.
for. Yeah, no. But I do. One of the weird ones that is Gwen, because I think they actually buffed Gwen on Rift overall, but they nerfed her on. Yeah, they did buff her passive from the AP scaling on her passive, but they did nerf her in ARAM. Which is fair, in my opinion. I think Gwen was actually pretty good right now. And with the buff, it will be better. But
Riot did say in the patch notes, just like the flavor text, that they wanted to make sure that compounding buffs or nerfs from Summoner's Rift were not going to be affecting ARAM so much. So they wanted to compensate for it. So Gwen's probably one of those cases.
Because I feel like a lot of ARAM players definitely overlook the fact that, like, they scroll down and they see ARAM balance changes, but like in reality, the whole patch is ARAM balance changes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Any change to a champion is an ARAM balance change, and sure we get these little adjustments, but yeah, I mean there's huge stuff. Like Karma got a massive buff, right? She got her Q damage increased from a 50% ratio to a 70%.
That's a big increase, yeah.
Yeah, and she remains untouched in the ARAM balance change, and none of her items were changed. So
I think Karma was bonkers last patch, and now she's even better. And
you can get like a 4-second cooldown on your ultimate.
I mean,
like you're waiting on your Q, not your ultimate.
Yeah, no, I actually have been in that scenario twice now on this patch where I've cast an ultimate Q and now I'm waiting on my Q cooldown, not my R cooldown.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I think Karma's probably up there. They
buffed her shield ratio too. It's weird. I don't know why they did.
She is sitting currently worldwide #1 win rate. Number 1 tier rate on UGG for ARAM. Yeah. She is way up there, and she is 6th out of all champions in terms of win rate. 54.12% win rate worldwide.
That is high. That's good.
In NA, let's take a look. People suck at her in NA. Never mind.
Nah, you can just look at it world. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, let's look at world because it makes more sense.
Everyone plays ARAMs.
The rune chart changes though. There's the shards, right? You can't have flat resistances anymore. What do you guys think about those changes?
It sucks to not have armor early, but it's a lot of health, and it's definitely nice. I don't mind them. You can get movement speed if you really want it too, which is kind of nice early. Not as big of a difference, and as you would think, but yeah, we can take different quints. Lovely.
Yeah, personally, not a fan of the change
Yeah.
for ARAM. I like it for a Rift. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
But I don't like that I can't have flat resist. It's like for like Galio, you can take like flat armor twice, and then you're like pretty set for resistances for a while before you have to like tech into one or the other. You could just build health. Or like a dive champion, you just want to take that extra armor. Now you can't do that, and so you're just gonna get like melted. And I think the flat health is good, but the double scaling health is actually like the strongest thing for tanks right now.
Yeah.
In ARAM at least.
Yeah. I think it still
crazy
feels really bad not having resist as an option. I feel like they should have left that in some sense. That should have been one of the rows. It's kind of weird that they have one of the rows is, oh, you can have HP, and then the next row is like, oh, you could have HP per level or even more HP. Like, it's like,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't want 3 HP options.
Yeah. Can I just have an extra Ruby Crystal level 1?
It might be better than we all think, but who knows? I kind of
HP is strong. That's what I'm telling you. I think it's a like shadow buff to tanks in ARAM if you take both scaling health. ARAM specifically because you get levels so much faster, right? So, but if you take the scaling health, then
you're
already level
to your
3 to
Warmogs. Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually get the new Warmogs.
Yeah, new Warmogs is so weird. Who was I on the other day? I think I had Grass.
Soraka.
I was
playing Soraka, and it's so hard to get the health breakpoint you need on the new Warmogs because it used to be 1100. Now is it 15 or is it
1300?
It's back to 13 because it was that a long time ago.
The worst scenario,
so
right,
hard.
is when you're like, you look at it and you're 40 health short of
yeah,
talking it, and
you gotta wait for levels.
You're like, I gotta wait for levels, or screw, I'm gonna go dive for this ruby crystal.
Yeah, feels bad.
Whatever.
Yeah, but Soraka, playing against Soraka's second item Warmogs just felt so bad. Like,
yeah. Now she
just finishes Warmogs and then the game's over.
Yeah, I think we all hate playing against that. It's non-interactive, right? I think Jerry was playing it today, and he's like, "This is so. All I do is press W. This is so boring." It's like, well, you signed up for it.
Yeah.
There was one more change I wanted to talk about with the patch. I think we'll all move on pretty quickly from this topic because we're all going to be upset by it, and that is they removed the early surrender from 8 minutes. Like, it's just gone. So now you cannot surrender until 12 minutes. Thoughts?
Yeah, it feels terrible. I hate this change.
I
wish they removed it.
On the dark horse that I don't care. It's whatever. I signed up to play an ARAM. If I have to sit in that ARAM for an extra 4 minutes, it doesn't make a difference. I don't care.
I mean, one of you Google, just like, what is the average length of an ARAM? If I were to just guess based on playing a billion ARAMs, I would say it's like 18 minutes. It's like 18 minutes at most, right? Like, there are some that hit 20 minutes, and you're like, oh my God, it's late game. Like, we're all 6 item or something, 20, 22 minutes. But that's like insane, right? It's like a super long ARAM. So if you have to wait 2/3 of a game to forfeit, that's like, why? Why do you have to wait so long?
Yeah, looking at our games over the past month, it looks like the average game is like 19 minutes.
Yeah, so you have to like be 2/3 of the way done, and that's for like the average game that's competitive, right? Whereas you can have games as short as 12 or 13 minutes. Some of our games tonight were that short, and imagine you can't FF until you lose anyway. That's like if Summoner's Rift back in the day was like, nah, you can't forfeit until 30, 40 minutes. It's like, then what if I wanted to be done? Like, what if this is unwinnable or feels that way and it's no longer fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's just the games you really want to FF are the ones that are over at 12 minutes anyway, so you just have to sit through it and just take it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel good.
Which is funny, they clearly are aware, Riot Games is clearly aware that ARAMs are kind of stalled out now. People have kind of adjusted to the changes. because they moved the surrender adjustment. Oh, they removed the 8 minutes, moved it to 12 minutes, or that was the regular surrender without the early surrender. And now for lightning round, the little badge that you can get and get achievement for, it's no longer win before 10 minutes, it's win before 13, because they realize like you gotta games take longer in general, so you gotta speed them up by less in order to win. Like it's insane. It's asinine to me, really, that they would make it so that you have to wait until 12 to FF. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's overall a good patch, but I'm not gonna let you skip over it, Jake, because
I hated
the other big change this patch was the TF AD stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah. ADTF. We should chat about that. We played it as a group recently, didn't we? You were on the ADTF. How did it feel?
Apparently, ADTF is bonkers on Rift. And I'm not surprised because I've played it twice now on Aram, and first time I trolled the build a bit. In case you don't remember me rushing Infinity Edge on TF.
I probably blocked it from memory.
That was the first game, and that did not feel great. Second game, there was a Malphite, but I still got to play it with an attack speed build with Guinsu's.
Yeah.
What I needed, and it felt like it did crazy good damage. Actually,
yeah, you went Zerkers, Rageblade, Terminus, Wit's End, and it looks like you were building Bork next or something.
Yeah, I was going Bork near the end, but it was...
Probably should have Borked early against Olaf, Warwick.
They had a lot of hard engage, and it felt like a bit of a lost cause. But
it would be really cool if you finished that build. Imagine.
It would be good, but...
Bork and, like, Runons in there, you're hitting everybody while you're kiting back. That would be crazy.
No, and the build feels really good to play. Actually, the biggest difference I felt was you get the auto attack reset when you lock in a card now. So
yeah,
you can just be hitting so much, and they made it so the E. How much more attack speed does the E give you now? It's absurd. Let me look this up.
It's always been actually a lot.
No, it wasn't nearly as much as it is now. It gives you...
have you had the chance to play it?
It gives you an extra 20% compared to what it used to. It's 60% attack speed now.
That's like 600 gold worth of stats.
And they threw a 75% bonus AD ratio in addition to the old A ratio on a Z. So there's just...
That's pretty cute.
There's all these crazy damage numbers on it. It's weird. And everything procs on towers now. Amen. That's one of the weirdest things they did this patch. They made it so a billion different champions can proc their passives and crap on towers.
Yeah.
It's a huge
I
deal.
haven't played it.
I haven't gotten the chance to play it either. I think the numbers look good on paper, but AD carries that like don't have any self peel or like dashes. Like TF's so immobile. Yeah, he's got gold card as his only self peel, and then you have to flash anything else. Like that's not the greatest.
It's true. I think if you have a good enough frontline,
or yeah, you'd have to have a good support like Rakan or something to give really good peel.
Yeah, and you were our AD carry that game, and supposed to be dishing the deeps, but you only out damaged one enemy champion by 500. As a LeBlanc. Yeah.
With the tower damage change though, abilities proccing, nothing was better than maybe 3 days ago. Doobie was playing Gragas and he hit his W and then auto attacked the tower for like easily 2k damage. It almost one shot the tower.
It was like 1400, yeah. With Lich Bane and his W.
It was
good.
It was absurd. It looked hilarious. Everyone in the lobby was just, what the hell was that?
That's awesome.
Tower gone.
I missed that one.
See, Superman thinks he missed that one, but he was probably there the whole time.
Maybe. It was probably past my bedtime, and I was there, and so I just tuned out.
When it's past his bedtime, you're able to ping his Poro snack every time.
My bugged Poro snack? I don't think our listeners know about that. So every time we play ARAM, I sell my cookie instantly. Like the moment the game
Oh,
loads, I
You
open
go,
the shop.
I got
sell
this
my cookie.
recorded now. You just okay. His secret's out.
But if people are listening in, they get to know our secrets. So I'm telling the truth.
Whoa.
So I sell the cookie. And honestly, I should have a macro by now because I type in chat, especially if we have like randos on our team or a bunch of random enemies. Then I type in all chat. I'm like, what the heck? My cookie's bugged. Everybody gets a cookie but me. Well, I'm like sad about it. But really, I'd sold it to the shopkeeper. I'm like, hey, buddy, you want a cookie? You want a cookie? 0 gold? Okay, all right.
I'm gonna
Give
make
this to your robot downstairs.
I'm gonna make a soundboard clip of you saying, "I sell the cookie."
No, you're not.
Yes. Fucked.
So, yeah, I sell. I mean, I what? Now I know you're gonna freaking clip it.
I already have it. You already said.
No, this is so bad. Okay, yeah, I sell the cookie instantly. Claude tries to catch me every time. He tries to ping it. Sometimes he gets me, not always though. But some people fall for it. They fall for it all the time. Actually, they're like, "What? It's gone? What? How come you didn't get a cookie?" Because it's gone before I show up to the middle of the lane where the poros are, and I ping everyone else's. And then I pinged the recall because viewers, if you don't know this, you can like do the alt left click and ping something on your HUD, right? Like ping an item's cooldown or your ability cooldowns, something in the tab menu. But you could also ping recall, and because recall is disabled on Aram, then where on Summoner's Rift you ping recall, it would say recall, but on Summoner's Rift it's just blank, so it's like an empty slot in chat. It says like so-and-so said and then nothing. On Aram. Yeah. So it's really funny. I go like cookie, and then blank.
Well,
love it.
I think we should move on to the last topic. We're going
Yeah, we got another topic. All right. Last topic on the day is we got to give our viewers some things to try out. Things that we figured out are pretty good in Aram for this current patch. For the next 2 weeks, you got to give this a try. All right. So lethality has come up a few times. Ubi, what's going on with those items? What should people be building?
Hubris Start is for sure the way to go. You just get free stats scaling through the whole game. Gives you AD on kill. Also has like 60 AD, I think, and 18 lethality, and it gives haste.
Yeah,
like,
it gives like 15
so
haste. It's really overloaded. And I think one of the funniest things we realized today is that Karthus is pretty trash now.
Yeah, he just fuels it.
The enemy team has Hubris.
Every time.
Just giving them the scaling for free, and it's a bit absurd.
And now the lethality is just full value. It's so strong.
Right.
I've been playing Hubris Caitlyn and ending games with 90 stacks of Hubris.
Jeez.
It's an extra 90 AD. It's insane. That's not fair.
But you don't actually get a statue in your base, so it's not worth building, right?
Well, nah, screw the statue.
Okay.
Actually, the stats are...
No statue.
Yeah, why can't they add the statues to Aram, dude? It'd be so...
They should.
I want that representation, but...
All right, so lethality, Hubris builds. If you rush that item, you get it fast. What, is it worth like taking futures market for?
Oh... Maybe on some champs.
We're cooking?
Some champs.
Something to look into.
Maybe.
If you can do first strike, yeah.
Gold. I think Storm Surge is crazy because like there's Aram specific nerfs on a lot of other gold generation things, like Triumph, for example. Just getting a takedown, and instead of getting the gold that you would on Summoner's Rift, you get a reduced amount on Aram. The Squall passive, where you get plus 30 gold if your target dies within the window for Storm Surge, you still get that 30 gold. And yes, it has a cooldown, so you can't like get a pentakill and get an extra 150, but it's a lot over the course of a game.
I think my opinion on Storm Surge right now has evolved into, I think it is good on champions that build Lichbane. Right now, in particular.
Yeah.
I think these mages like Fizz or Deanna, or who else is building Lichbane right now? Maybe a TF, something of that sort that has...
I liked it on
Echo.
Victor
Echo also.
Lichbane.
they just get this extra burst with Lichbane that almost guarantees their Storm Surge procs, and it's really good.
I've been taken by surprise a few times dying to Storm Surge because there's that delay before it procs. Like,
Yeah.
You think you get away and you're fine, and like I don't even shield myself because I'm fine, and then I'm dead. It's like really frustrating, actually.
I think I played
Especially
a
visual
Storm
clarity.
Surge Shaco game the other day, and I caught people off guard with this so many times, throwing an E at them to proc it, and then
Yeah.
they're just caught off guard, being, oh, what the heck, I'm exploding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does feel pretty good. It is. I think it is absurdly good, but I think Lichbane is kind of one of the big things right now that's making it work. Bless Lichbane's build path now. That item is amazing.
Super cheap. Yeah.
I wish
AP burst.
Sheen still had Nana, but I'll take the CDR. It's fine.
Sure. Yeah. So AP burst mages really good for the reasons we just talked about. Bruisers though are making a huge comeback. Just like really high health teams
Yeah.
seem to be really popular now, especially because of Sundered Sky. You guys talked about this earlier. To explain it a little bit more to our viewers, like why is Sundered Sky so good?
This item heals you based on your missing HP, and it also deals a crap ton of damage. It's a guaranteed crit every 6 or 4 seconds based on your item CDR, but it's really strong, and you can just proc it on everyone if you're that mobile and take really high advantage of it. That like all the highest win rate bruisers, I'd say out of the top 10 champions in ARAM right now, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them rush Sundered Sky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty insane, actually.
That item is kind of insane right now for ARAM. And then there's the oddballer where you got Karma in there and Scion and Zac, I guess. They don't rush Sundered Sky. So I guess only
Scion is
7
pretty
of
crazy.
them. Only 7 of them aren't. Only 3 of the 10 aren't rushing Sundered Sky. Holy cow.
Right.
English. Hard.
So Scion's crazy because all the stacking health, right?
Well,
Doobie, there's some crazy items for tanks. What can you see a Scion building?
He's going
I
steal.
definitely see Heart Steel being his first item.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to do more damage, you could definitely do Titanic. But something that would make you extremely thick would be Canic Rookern. The item gives you a magic shield based on your max health, and Scion just gets so much health for free.
Well, I think the nutty item on like Scion and Cho'Gath right now is Unending Despair. Yeah. It heals you based
What's
on
that
your
one?
max HP.
Yeah, the suck item.
That's the suck item. That's every 7 seconds in combat, you deal damage to champions around you and heal based on the damage dealt. And it's based on your max HP, and you heal for 250% of the damage it deals.
Yeah.
I've had that item heal me for 8k in a match before.
That's crazy. Yeah, and for that reason, don't underestimate what is the Crypt Bloom. Like that item is actually pretty good instead of Void Staff.
I hadn't
like
seen it
shadow
be as
buffing.
good as it was until Doobie got that Vladimir proc.
Yeah, the AoE healing the area of effect is actually huge, and if you're a full AP champion like Vladimir, it actually does heal for quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean he
Yeah, I only got to use it once, and it was like 1600 healing.
in one proc.
Jeez,
It was
that's so crazy.
that was good. That was pretty good. I'll take it.
Shielding is nerfed on ARAM too, and so that's
We get a Bono.
probably even crazier.
Maybe it's bugged, or it's just a Bono
maybe.
redemption. Hell yeah, we take more.
Yeah, we love redemption. I mean, that's another thing that people could try out. If you're listening, do item CDR builds, right? You go red
Ingenious
tree
Hunter.
and utility tree. Yeah, Ingenious Hunter. You quickly get some takedowns, you stack that up, and then you get redemption first, and it'll be on like a 50-second cooldown, AoE heal for your whole team. You get like 2 of those in between each heal pack spawning. Like, it's pretty wild.
It is.
And because the removal of mythics, you can build both Locket and Shirelias
it's so
on top
good.
of all this. Yeah, it's amazing. Sometimes I don't even bother building boots just because you have so many great items you can build. You know, Mikhail's as well on a really short cooldown,
And
generally
rip
speaking.
CDR boots, right? How much CDR did they take off of them? Was it 10 or 5?
I don't remember. All I know is
They
sometimes
nerfed them,
just
so they don't feel as great. But
the support items are just so cheap that sometimes when I'm backing, if I only have like 900 gold, and yeah, I could buy full boots.
screw that.
But a Kindle gem is so much better. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's true.
So
No doubt.
try that out.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's definitely what's good right now. My opinion, best thing this patch, Hubris Caitlyn. Don't miss your chance to one-shot people with your ult.
Fair.
I'm not kidding. I dealt a crit for, let me look. I crit for 3,108 damage. I ended this Morgana's life. She thought she was okay. She was gone.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. I might give that one a try myself. Actually,
It's really satisfying. You hit that point and it's absurd. Hubris is strong in ARAM right now too because you get double stacks. I think that's a big game changer right now.
Right.
You get
Even though it's bugged on the HUD.
I mean, the HUD is bugged. Sometimes it doesn't show how many stacks you have. They never go away though. But yeah, that item is overtuned in ARAM, and I'm pretty sure if they don't change it next patch, it's getting changed at some point because that item is being abused, and it will at some point take off.
Right. Well, some things to try out for sure, and some things that we are going to continue to abuse in our games. But that's going to do it for us here on our second episode of The Murder Bridge with Doobie, Claude, and Soup.
Awesome.
We always want to hear from all of you. So if you've made it this far, thanks for listening. Let us know in the comments what kind of topics you would like to hear us chat about in the future. Or if there's certain ideas you have that you want us to try out in our games.
Yes,
that we
give us ideas.
We love to hear crazy, wacky, crazy Ivan stuff. So let us know.
If you just want to come on and tell us a story about an ARAM match that was particular, even too. But yeah, we want to hear from you guys. We want to know how to do this better. What do you want changed? We're here to entertain you. That is our ultimate
so let us
goal.
know. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.